Welcome to Season 5 of My Wife the Dietitian, a fun, evidence-based weekly podcast about nutrition and healthy living. On today's show, we answer the question, am I too old to exercise? Is there any truth to this? Or is it just another excuse to avoid getting sweaty? Stay with us to find out. Enjoying the show? You can help others find it and enjoy it too by giving us a 5-star rating or review. If you feel like reaching out to us with a question or comment, you can send us an email at mywifetherd@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit our website at mywifethedietitian.com, as well as our social media pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Enjoy the show. Welcome to My Wife the Dietitian. Hello, Sandra.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What's going on?
Good.
What's going on over there in your part of the room?
Well, we've got a great question from a listener again.
Those listeners.
Love it. But it's not about her. It's about her mom.
Oh, a question from the listener's mom.
No.
About this a little.
Can I read the
How about you
question?
just read the question?
Thank you.
Okay, we'll just clear up all the confusion.
My mom is in her late 70s, and she says, I'm too old to exercise. And I was told to take it easy. But she has no health problems. And she can move around. She doesn't have any impediments or
reasons to not exercise. You know, it's interesting when you get to an older age, and I'm just kind of guessing, but there's a lot of things in life where you feel like you're on that, like you're in a race and you're in your last lap and you're like, oh, I'm just going to take it easy now because I've worked hard the whole other part of the race. Maybe I'm just going to like slow down a bit here and take it easy for the last little part. And there's a lot of things in life like that. And life itself, I bet there's a lot of people, especially after they retire, they feel like I've been busting my butt my whole life. I'm just going to like cruise now and you know, not push myself too hard because I don't want to break anything. I don't want to get any issues. But the opposite is often true, right? Because they're not exercising. They're not creating those sort of stressful moments that we need sometimes in order to stay healthy.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can really think, like, do you want to be able to keep climbing the flight of stairs? Do you want to lift your groceries? Do you want to play with your grandchild on the floor?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to avoid and prevent a fall? Do you want to sleep better at night? There's all of the above, right?
I want all those things.
Yeah. So it used to be that people with a chronic illness or older people were told to take it easy or just take a pill or two. And that advice has actually changed, and I think we've talked about it many times.
Right.
Today, researchers know that just a moderate amount of physical activity, 30 to 60 minutes a day, combined with healthy eating, of course, helps maintain weight. And it also helps prevent a number of life-threatening diseases like heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, and possibly even cancer. And it helps those who already have those conditions manage them better.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have diabetes, you know that watching what you eat is essential, but it also moving your body. We've did an episode recently about going for a walk after a meal because that actually really helps with blood sugar control.
Right.
And regular activity, 30 to 60 minutes a day, can improve your condition by more than 45% over healthy eating alone, even if you don't lose weight. So for those with arthritis or osteoporosis, physical activity can help reduce joint pain and also joint damage, and also prevent further bone loss and build stronger bones. It can also help with the muscles you need for better balance. And we've talked about that a lot on this show, about preventing falls and the importance of flexibility and having some balance. So with exercise, we know that once you start, you probably won't want to stop because you'll find it easier to climb a flight of stairs, carry a bag of groceries, lift your grandchild, cook a healthy meal, stand up straight, avoid or prevent a fall, cope with stress, and fall asleep at bedtime.
Yeah, those are all important, and we don't think about it until we don't have it. That's the problem. It's like you think you're going to be fine, so you don't put any effort into that kind of stuff, and then one day maybe you do have trouble climbing the stairs, but by then it's difficult to start making change. So
Right.
then you don't pursue going to the gym and getting stronger because it's hard then, you know?
Yeah.
So then you just avoid it altogether, and then it's just a downward spiral from there.
Yeah. And
Unfortunately.
regular physical activity can mean greater freedom and independence.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on your why, like the reason you wake up in the morning. You know, like, do you want to lift your grandchild, or do you want to, be able to walk the flight of stairs? Like, these things are important. And if you want to stay independent.
Yeah, I was going to say independence is the basis to all of these things, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So 3 types of physical activity to keep your body moving well as you get older. And it's really important to try to incorporate all 3 of these types. So, I mentioned one already. What do you think the 3 are, Rob?
3 types of exercise?
Yeah.
Can you give me an example? Do you mean like strength training as one? Is that one type?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're sort of like groups. I'd say strength training, some sort of cardio,
Yes.
so like walking or
Aerobic.
and then some sort of flexibility, balance kind of
You got
exercise. Oh, look at me!
You got it, and I didn't even.
Whoa!
I didn't even talk about this with you.
You
or
weren't
anything.
holding up signs or anything. No charades or.
That's right.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, you've got it. So aerobic or cardio, strength activities. So that keeps the bones and muscles strong,
Mm-hmm.
and the flexibility helps with the joint, like the keeping the joints mobile,
Right.
and your muscles relaxed. And back to number 1, the cardio or aerobic activity, it helps with your heart rate and your body temperature, and helps with your cardiovascular system, so your heart and lungs. So the way it's categorized is FITT. So FITT meaning frequency, intensity, time, and type for all 3 types of physical activity. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and can you explain that? Where you're going with that?
Okay, where I'm going with that is the frequency. So if we look at how often in the week, and the intensity is how hard you're working,
Mm-hmm.
the time, so how long you do it for,
Right.
and the type, so what type of activity and exercise.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So frequency for the first one we were talking about was aerobic or cardio.
Right. That should be, I would think, daily, probably.
Yeah.
Or,
Most days, 4 to 7 days of the week. Yeah. And we did an episode about just even like 10 minutes 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
That would qualify as 30 minutes a day.
Yeah, because for some people, they're like, I can't fit in 30 minutes. I don't have time for that. But yeah, 10 minutes, or shorter intervals, but more often, that's a way to do it.
Yeah. And then, I mean, you start from where you're at. So if you're already doing 2 hours of a sport every day, obviously you're getting lots of cardio or aerobic activity.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably not an issue. But with this listener's mom, who sounds like she doesn't have any physical disabilities or problems that she's having to work through,
Mm-hmm.
and that she just thinks she's too old to exercise, and someone said, take it easy. Well, I think it's really important to keep doing the 30 to 60 minutes of some sort of aerobic activity. And so the intensity would be, if you're just starting out, light. So a light intensity. The breathing talk test is one way to tell the intensity. So with your slight increase in your walking or the activity of whatever you're doing, you can talk easily. And then as you get more used to doing that over time, so weeks to months, it's moderate intensity. So more deep and consistent. And then you can talk in short bursts, but it's harder to talk. You know what I mean?
You feel out of breath a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've tried to have a phone call with my parents while I'm walking the dog, and yeah, it's tough. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm walking the dog." You know, they're like, "Really? You sound like you're like breathing pretty hard. And are you sure you're okay?"
That's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
And then, okay, so
that's the goal, is to kind of be at that point.
Well, if you can, try to increase it. Yeah. So that's the frequency is most days, or 4 to 7 days per week. The intensity starting out with the light, so you can talk easily, and then to the moderate. So where, like you were just saying, you kind of a little effort to talk. And the time, so remember FITT, frequency, intensity, time, and type. So the time would be at least 10 minutes at a time, up to 3 times per day.
Right.
And then as you get more into the regular routine of it, after a few weeks or months, then regularly 30 to 60 minutes of that moderate activity.
Right.
Because that's going to really be good for your cardiovascular system.
It is.
To pump you think your heart's a pump, and it's pumping that blood around the arteries, and we need that pump to work.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. And then the type of exercise is like light walking, gardening, golfing. You know, these are all activities that take a little bit of effort, but aren't like super strenuous. As you get more used to doing these activities, then you can increase to brisk walking or swimming or cycling, like going for a bike ride, or dancing, as well as like, you know, vacuuming and other household chores, or if you're, you know, washing the floor, dusting or whatever, that will, you know, all contribute to a little bit more effort.
Yeah. Turbo dusting.
Right.
We're all around the house, and it's just a big cloud of dust.
That's right.
I'll just add something. Years ago, I did I wanted to get into running, and I did a 5K kind of learn to run group. And the way they do it, because on day one, no one can run 5K, and they realize that, and everyone, if they tried it, they'd fall over in the first 5 minutes. And so how they do it is they do 30 seconds of running, or a minute of running, and then you walk for a minute, and then you run for a minute, and then you walk for a minute. And which is doable for most people. And then the next day, or the session, whatever, is probably twice a week or something. You run for 2 minutes, and then you walk for a minute, and until you've done your, I think it was 30 minutes we were doing it for, because that's sort of a standard 5K time. And until you're at the point where I think like the last day you'd run for 15 minutes, and then you'd walk for a minute, and then you'd run for 15 minutes.
Oh.
And it was totally doable.
Oh, that's
I thought,
awesome.
Running for 15 minutes straight, man, that sounds tough. But because we worked up to it in small steps, it was totally doable. And then a 5K was easy.
Well, so how long from the first class to that last class? Like 3 months or something?
No, I'd say like 2 months.
Okay.
It's probably once a week, maybe twice a week. It wasn't very often. And I mean, I was in pretty good shape. It was probably 20 years ago. I was a bit younger, but there was older people in the class, and everyone was doing it. Like, we were all progressing at the same stage. So it wasn't really necessarily related to age or fitness level even.
It's totally not. Because there's people that are young that if they have not been using their body, you use it or lose it, right? So
because a lot of times when people think, okay, I'm going to get fit, and they'll go out and they'll try to like run a marathon, or they'll try to like go out and walk 10K on day one, and then they come home and they're sore for a week, and they're like, oh, I'm not going to do that anymore. That's, but the right way to do it would be to go out and walk around the block on the first night. The second night, walk around the block twice, and work up to that long walk. You don't do it on the first day
I know.
because it'll totally turn you off.
You're right. And it's hard for people that used to be athletes or used to be
Mm-hmm.
very physically
True.
active. And if they have taken a big, long break, maybe years, maybe they had an injury, maybe they got out of their sport, maybe they're older and they just aren't as active.
Yeah.
And your mind thinks that, oh, I know how to do this.
Yeah. Or I'm still 25 and
Yeah.
you think you can perform at the same level.
That's right. So that is not recommended.
I would totally do that. I used to play hockey probably, I don't know, 8 years maybe it's been now. If I went back on the ice now to play hockey, I'd still probably play at the level I was playing at. Or I would try to play at that level. And then I would be sore for a long time.
Or injure yourself.
Or injured, which is typically what would happen. You push yourself too much with some of these sports.
That's right. And we are going to get to the third point in a minute, the flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
But first, let's talk about the strength activities to keep bones and muscles strong.
Mm-hmm.
So with the frequency, so the FITT, the frequency, intensity, time, and type, frequency would be 2 to 4 days per week.
Probably 2 for people who are just
starting out,
not looking to, go in any bodybuilding shows or anything,
Yeah.
2 I think is the minimum.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 2 to 4. And then as you start to do that and you're getting stronger, then daily.
Yeah.
Like daily meaning like moving objects in your daily routine, like lifting things, like not actually having to go to the gym. And I don't think that's a good idea to go to the gym daily because then you're not giving your muscles the recovery they need.
Right.
But just in terms of like, if you're starting from very little strength activity, you start 2 to 4 days. And then the intensity would be weight that you can lift 8 to 15 times.
Mm-hmm.
That's the intensity. And then the time is 20 to 30 minutes, 2 to 4 sets of each exercise.
Right. Depending on how many exercises you got, I guess that would dictate the time frame. But
yeah, and the type could be using your body weight by doing push-ups or sit-ups or using those little hand weights or a weight machine.
Or the bands. Those things are awesome too, because you don't have the injury potential as you do with actual weights.
Right.
So it's still resistance.
And definitely if you are going to start into anything like this, talk to a health professional and also maybe get someone at the gym to show you how to do it safely.
That's huge.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, don't just go start, throwing weights around. You want to know that you're performing the movements correctly or you're going to get an injury and then you're out for months.
But if her mom's not going to go to the gym,
mm-hmm, true.
If there's just those little hand weights or like you said, the bands.
Yeah.
So if you take 20 to 30 minutes and do 2 to 4 sets of each exercise, that is a good place to start. And then as you do this more often, then you'll be lifting and moving objects around your house daily and periodically through the day. Mm-hmm. And just household chores, you have to like lift the bucket or lift the garbage or lift the groceries. Yard work can be something that you're going to use your muscles and your cardio and flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
And climbing stairs, as I mentioned, lifting and carrying groceries and laundry. So those are all daily activities that can help with your strength activities.
Exactly.
And then the last one, flexibility. So the flexibility activities can keep your muscles relaxed and your joints mobile, and daily would be good. Daily, like even like as you wake up, like do some stretches before going to bed, do a little bit of stretches, throughout the day. So take stretch to just before the point of pain and move joint to end point without discomfort. So we don't want you to have pain when you're stretching.
It feels so good though.
To stretch.
Oh man. And you it doesn't have to be like this regimented routine you do. You can sit, I do it. I'm sitting in my lazy boy chair in the morning, usually editing the podcast, having my cup of coffee, but I'm stretching my legs. I'm like pointing my toes and I'm doing like sort of stretches as my feet are up in my lazy boy chair. And then I'll put my arms above my head and like stretch my back and my arms out, and like it doesn't have to be like on the floor in yoga tights kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
It can just be sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
Just
And you know, you see cats and animals, dogs, like how they stretch, like all animals do, right? Like when a cat gets up off the bed or gets up to move off the couch, it like does this huge stretch. Like it just makes sense, right? Our body was in a certain position and you need to move the muscles and the joints to help, right?
Exactly. And when I do my little yoga routine in the morning, which is kind of laying on the floor and going through a routine, it makes an enormous difference within a day or two. Like I notice really quick the results of doing that.
Me
So
too. Yeah.
it's definitely worth the effort. And it doesn't have to be a long, like drawn out routine. I think mine's like 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a series of little stretches first thing in the morning. And yeah, it's totally worth it. You feel good the whole day, sleep better. Yeah. People smile at you more. Like there's so many benefits.
You're so funny. So some of the types, like you mentioned just how to do it, but also like yoga or Pilates or Tai Chi is a really kind of popular one.
I've got so many ads for Tai Chi walking. Oh my God. I don't know. I must have like, I don't know why, but my phone just gets slammed with Tai Chi walking. It's like the only thing they send on my phone is all these ads. I'm like,
so
I should try this, I guess. But the funny thing is there'll be this huge overweight guy and he's like, this is me in the beginning. And then 30 days later, he's completely ripped. And I'm like, yeah, right. Come on. That's from doing Tai Chi walking. That's impressive, but it's pretty funny.
Good marketing. Oh my
it
God.
really is.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the time, remember it's the FITT, like so frequency daily, intensity. Take the stretch just before the point of pain. So no pain. Time would be 15 to 30 minutes. Holding each stretch 10 to 20 seconds and no bouncing.
Yeah, that's key.
And the type stretching routines before or after physical activity. So like if you're going to go for a walk, maybe do a little stretch before or after. And household chores could be, as I mentioned, like putting away groceries or sweeping or dusting or raking or digging in the yard or other bending and stretching and reaching movements. Those are all going to help with your full range of motion.
Mm-hmm.
So all these are really important. So the three together, work towards 30 to 60 minutes of physical activity every day. It doesn't have to be all at once. And you could try walking for 10 minutes in the morning, another 10 in the afternoon, with maybe some short stretches before and after, and a little gardening or vacuuming in between. And you could also alternate your walking days with days where you do other strength training, maybe lifting some light weights. Soup cans are, an example of something you might have at home. Or if you can't do 30 minutes, even 10 minutes of light physical activity a day will help you feel more vibrant. It'll help you feel more energetic and alert, and also help you sleep better.
That's key.
Mm-hmm.
I've been sleeping really well lately. I don't know if it's the extra outside things we've been doing, but I've been just zonked at night now, which is great because it's so good to have a good night's sleep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think if people can just prioritize doing something physical every day, whether it's your strength training, your cardio, your flexibility stuff, some of those are you need to do them every day. Some of them, the strength training stuff, you're going to alternate, but just have it on your to-do list every day and make sure you do it, because you'll reap the benefits down the road if you can keep up that kind of routine.
Yep. And there's am I too old to exercise? You're never too old for physical activity, even if you're in your 80s and 90s. Staying active will help you feel better and do the things you want to keep doing.
Absolutely.
And I mean, if you're busy caring for someone else, so that's a reality for many older couples or older people. They might be caring for somebody else. So a suggestion would be to try to be active while the person that you're caring for is resting or occupied. Even for 5 to 10 minutes at a time will help. Maybe have a friend or neighbor come over and take care of the person you're taking care of while you go out for a class or go out for a walk. And, if you are dealing with, as I mentioned before, like having arthritis or osteoporosis or stiffness, then the gentle activities like the walking or classes that are designed to accommodate seniors with physical challenges, like FITT is one, or like chair yoga. Those are some options for if you're feeling that you don't want to dive into anything too intense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's definitely lots of programs available now for every fitness level, every age, all that sort of stuff. It's
Absolutely.
a lot more than there used to be.
Yeah. So, the results are pretty beneficial. Once you start, you won't want to stop.
Yeah, it is addictive. That's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing to be addicted to.
Yeah. It's like a little bit of a dopamine hit, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And feeling better and sleeping better is such a great side effect.
Yeah, and that's totally worth it.
And preventing fractures when you fall, or even having that flexibility can help prevent falls, right?
Yeah.
I think we did one on calcium, and we were talking about them bones.
Oh, way back.
We'll link that in the show notes because that's really important. The trifecta of strong bones, calcium, vitamin D, and gravity, or exercise that uses gravity, right? To put pressure on those bones and muscles, because that helps to keep bones strong. Magnesium is part of bone health too, and we're going to do an episode on magnesium soon. But you're not too old to exercise.
Oh, thank you.
You're funny.
I'm glad you think so. Awesome. Well, that's good information. It's a nice reminder, and it's all part of our health. This is a nutrition-focused podcast, but nutrition is part of overall health, just like physical activity and just movement and everything we discussed today. So it's a good reminder, and we just like to throw those types of episodes in there every once in a while, just to give you the full range of all things healthy. So if you want more great tips, check out our website. It's mywifethedietitian.com. We've got a great blog on there. You can join our weekly newsletter. That's free to join. It's all sorts of great information in the newsletter. Worth signing up for that. You can send us your questions. We get lots of listener questions these days, people wanting to know things, and they're confused about things that they've read on the internet and seen on YouTube or wherever. And I agree, there's lots of confusion out there these days. So we are here to help you navigate that maze and confusion. So feel free to drop us your questions, and we'll help you figure things out. You can email us at mywifetherd@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Feel free to reach out to us there as well. And don't forget to rate and review the show. That's something that's super helpful. We love hearing your comments too. Questions, comments, reviews, all that stuff. It's good to hear. Plus, it also keeps the show moving forward, and as far as the stuff that has to happen. And one last thing, share with your friends. Your friends really want to know what you're listening to, because you're smiling and laughing and having a good time and learning all this stuff and looking fit and healthy. And they're like, dude, what are you doing? I want in on that. So don't be afraid to share the secret with them. We would appreciate it too. So that is it for this episode. We'll be back later in the week with Nutrition Nuggets. So until then, have a fantastic week. Thanks for joining us today on My Wife the Dietitian. If you like what you heard, don't be shy. Leave us a comment or review, and be sure to share our podcast with your friends. If you'd like to hear more, hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on our social media pages for updates, episode trailers, and other odds and ends. For more info and links on what we discussed on today's episode, check the show notes. We'll be back next week with another informative and fun-filled episode.